about today's show. We have a really special guest, Mr. Ryan, the FudHound himself, who appears as I say his name. Love it. The CEO of Reflex Finance. Uh, been a big fan of this guy for a while, so really excited to have him with us this evening. Thank you so much, Ryan, for joining us. Thank you, Reflex Legion. I see you guys showing up and showing out. I love it. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over a couple of my pinned tweets. That's important. Some stuff up at the top. We have two different contests going on this evening. One is for a chance to win 25 billion Reflex Finance. To do that, you need to like, retweet, comment, hashtag Glownation, and follow Reflex Finance. You got to be in the space. I'm gonna bring you up and make you talk if you win. So being in the space is really important. Then my next pin tweet is for a chance to win 30 billion Glow V2. Same idea, like, retweet, comment, hashtag Glow V2. This time you got to be following Glow Token LLC. And again, you've got to be in the space to win. Also, our trusty Greek is going to be streaming this live on his YouTube channel. So I have that link up at the top as well. So just in case for some reason Twitter does what Twitter does and you can't hear, please go over to the YouTube and you can listen to it there. Of course, everything we say here is not financial advice. This is all entertainment purposes only, pure speculation. And we're just telling you about a project. We're in no way saying you should buy it, sell it, or anything else. This is just education purposes only. So please don't listen to people on Twitter or YouTube when they tell you to buy stuff. Do your own research, of course. Okay. So first of all, I want to welcome my co-host, the man who puts all these shows together and gets me all these wonderful guests, Mr. Jason. How are you doing this evening?
Good afternoon, sir. Yeah, pretty excited about the show today. Um, been really great communicating with their team, bunch of very smart folks, and really excited to just introduce everyone to Ryan. And um, I'm going to jump ahead of the game and throw a personal question in there. At some point in time, Ryan, I want to hear about how you got your name, the Flood Slayer. So, but yeah, we're going to have a good time. And how do you want to start it off, buddy?
I'm gonna go straight to the man we're here to talk to because I'm sure he's very busy, so I don't want to take up too much of his time. Mr. Ryan, the FudHound himself. I'm so honored to have you on MySpace. I've listened to you so many times on Jeremiah's and Zeus's space talk. I'm so happy that you happen to join us today in Glow Nation, Mr. Ryan. How are you tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. Hello to the Glow Nation. Thank you for having me come on. I always like to be a part of, DeFi any way I can and come on to different spaces and, really push, the message of DeFi and uniting all of us together. We're all here, I think, for the same goal. And that goal is, we're here to innovate. We're here to break barriers, and we're here to, crash those glass ceilings and disrupt the new way of finance. So thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. And I took a look at your guys' site before I came on. I've seen it before. I was looking at your roadmap. Love what you guys are doing. Love the charitable contribution aspect of what you guys are doing. And I really like, what I see coming up, especially with the wallet. And I'm kind of interested in what you guys are working on there.
Awesome, Ryan. Thank you for the kind words. And I kind of feel like this is a full circle because when I first got to know who you were, of course, head of global products for SafeMoon. At the time, I was known as SafeMoon Legion, dedicated member of the SafeMoon Army. But we evolve and grow and end up joining other projects. I ended up with Glow, and you, of course, now are CEO of Reflex, which we're going to learn all about tonight. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool how we all start in one place and end up somewhere else, and keep innovating and adding to the space.
Absolutely. I mean, it's all about growth, right? It's like working with another company in the Web 2.0 space. You're going to work for maybe a startup or work for a big Fortune 100. That's where I started. Actually, I started for a company called Oracle. I worked there for a little over 2 years, and then after you kind of get that experience, you say, hey, you know what? I want to go work for a startup. I want to go work for something more exciting. I want to help build out their standards, their processes, their product lines, that kind of thing. So you get your experience in sometimes the unlikeliest places, and everyone, we're all looking to grow, we're all looking to expand and advance our careers. So that's really cool. It's always awesome talking to other people who have been a part of the safemoon army as well, and such a big army. I mean, there's just so many people, such big community, and so many great connections and relationships made. So really, really awesome to be here. But I was before I came on, you guys, I mentioned, I know I saw a few tweets, people talking about, Reflex Finance. We're talking about the swap that we've just made some major breakthroughs in, and I was on a space yesterday. We spoke a little bit about it, and I think the biggest takeaway of what we've done here is we've really worked with Fiber, who's helped spearhead this whole push into this new swap technology that we're going to be pushing out within the next 30 days, that will really effectively bring down our gas fees below $1, and with a subsequent update we'll be able to get those gas fees possibly down to 25 cents, maybe even 22 cents. So huge breakthrough. Really excited about what this means for DeFi. And it doesn't matter what company comes out with this kind of stuff. What matters is how we use it as a collective, and how we use it to go after those Web 2.0 companies and be competitive in this space. So what I would say is, although it's a great breakthrough for us, what this means for other companies and the technology and how we'll license this is going to be really exciting.
I agree. I listened to that space and your AMA to kind of prepare for this. Have some exciting things coming up, and I definitely want to get into that on our chat tonight. Typically, the way we do it on Glownation, we're kind of a little bit structured-ish in a way. Typically, what I do is have my guests tell us about the project. As like pretend like people in the crowd have no idea who you are or what your project is. So it's kind of a general idea, of what the project is. Then some more detailed questions is where I want to get into the swap for sure, because that's very exciting. And then we typically ask you questions about you, because I think everyone needs to get to know the people behind the pictures, realize that those are real human beings behind these accounts. And I also asked in the Reflex Discord and on Twitter for people to come up with questions. So we'll do a couple questions too. But I also have Shane up here as a speaker too. He is our COO of Glow. So Ryan, if you have any questions about Glow, please feel free in what's going on with Glow as well. Before I get to ask questions for Ryan, can I get audience? Can I get two things from you, please? One, can I get everyone to retweet the space so we can get all of our family and friends in here, please? So retweet, that's one. And two, as a thank you for Ryan for giving us his time, I know he's very, very busy. Can I get everyone to give me some hearts and claps for Ryan for joining us? So, because we're really, really happy that he showed up. So if I get some hearts, thank you, everyone. I appreciate that. Shane, before I get into picking Ryan's brain, did you have anything you wanted to say before we get into Reflex?
No, just want to tell Ryan, thanks for taking the time to jump into Glownation. The lads will look after you very well. They're great hosts, and just for anyone who's new in the space, we'll actually be having our new roadmap unveiled on the 13th of June, and yeah, some exciting things coming with that. And we're taking a bit of a new direction. You wouldn't have seen many cryptocurrencies do it, so yeah, we're definitely excited for it.
Thank you, Shane. He's the man that makes all the deals and all the partnerships. So Ryan, be looking for Shane to be contacting you as soon as the space is over. That's usually what he does. He makes partners out of our guests. So be on the lookout for Shane talking to you soon. Okay, with all that said, Mr. Ryan, you'd be the best man to tell us. Can you tell the folks at home that might not know where Reflex is, just kind of a general idea of what Reflex Finance is? What it's a token. Tell us a little bit about it.
Sure thing. So I'm sure we're all aware that DeFi is a new chaotic Wild West. And with that, you get a lot of freedom and flexibility, but you also get the people who take advantage of that, and the projects obviously that we've seen launch in the past that take advantage of the excitement and the dumping of new money that comes into this space. But you have rug pulls, you have these launch tokens that are maybe launching on other platforms that aren't doing proper vetting. And you don't really know who these people are, right? It's very anonymous. So here at Reflex Finance, what we're trying to do and what we are doing, what we're doing with mitigated risk, is we have a few packages that not only with our launch pad, you launch a token project, but we have launch packages that help us vet the projects as they launch. So we'll have like a gold, silver, and bronze package where we perform the KYC, and our KYC has artificial intelligence checks any type of documents or facial recognition that's basically sent in during this KYC. We'll check with other agencies, the biggest agencies in the world, government agencies like Interpol, DEA, all of the others. And we basically do a KYC on those individuals that are going to be launching on our launch pad. We do this to mitigate risk a little bit, because we want to make sure that the people who are launching these projects, they have the best intentions, and they're there to really build an honest project for honest holders. So that's what we're kind of about. But that was just the start, right? Obviously, when I came on in the project, it was it was making an impact in the space and making the space safer, and that's grown into something much bigger now. But in a nutshell, that is what Reflex Finance is all about. I can go into it for days, but that's kind of the summary.
Love it. Thank you for the. I just like to make sure that we're trying to do here on Glow. We're trying to do a unite DeFi thing, right? We're trying to bring all projects together. So our goal on the show is to teach everyone about the different projects. So teach the Glownation about Reflex Finance, and then in turn teach the Reflex Legion a little bit about Glows, because we're all going to the same spot, right? So
yeah, exactly. And with Reflex, what we're doing, I mean, obviously with the ecosystem that we're building, our launchpad is just that first product that we're going to be launching. But all of the other products that we're working on right now help these entrepreneurs and help these token projects get off the ground much more efficiently. And by that I mean, even with Glow, I'm sure when you guys launched your project, there's a lot to learn. It's a very steep learning curve, right? You have to understand, how to build up that liquidity. You have to understand, when you launch, all the different exploits or different things that can happen with your token contract. You have to learn, how do I get these listed into different, dexes or exchanges? What can I do to help with marketing? How can I, ensure that I'm reaching the holders and I'm giving them the best, direct communication I possibly can. All these things go into, launching your project. And, for a lot of entrepreneurs and token owners, that's a lot of weight on your shoulders, right? So we're building an ecosystem. Our launchpad just one, but we're building an entire ecosystem that helps, give these entrepreneurs basically the best advantage they can possibly get through our line of products. So, as we grow more, obviously we're going to be helping token projects out a lot more. And that's the biggest takeaway, is that the more that we can help these token projects, the more that we can expand DeFi and make it a better place and make it a more inviting place for new innovation to come in. And that's the biggest problem right now, with DeFi, is that there's a lot of people kind of sitting on the sidelines and thinking, should I get into DeFi? Should I, I don't know. There's all these, people and scams, and, yes, sure, there is that. And there was that when, the internet started, obviously, and a lot of other new technologies. But as time goes on, it matures. And so, projects like us, like Glow Token and what we're about here at Reflex Finance and a lot of others, the people who are really trying to do good and trying to make a positive impact, those projects tend to kind of float to the top, and they kind of stick together, right? And they start to, they work together in different ways. They're transparent with their community. They're always, giving updates on what they're working on and how things are changing. That's so important. And, if we can make this space a space where it's inviting for these Web 2.0 companies to come in, for the talent to come in, and for the money to come in, then, we'll all rise together. And I think that is the biggest takeaway in how, these companies in DeFi need to kind of position themselves.
That's such a good point, Ryan, because why would retail investors or the general public want to go into projects when, if they've looked into crypto at all, I'm sure they've heard about rug pulls and hacks and scams and everything else. But if you have a launch pad and I'm sure that if it's going to be on your launch pad, knowing you, the projects are going to be vetted and as much security and everything as possible as you can. So if you can create kind of a one-stop kind of shop where people can go and feel a little bit safer about what they're doing and just finding the right project to invest in, it makes it a whole lot more inviting for the general, your average day Joe to kind of come in and invest in these projects.
It definitely does. Yeah. And it's kind of like this, like, it's like I would say it's kind of a concierge service in a way. But our products, especially the newer products that we're going to be launching, they're not just going to be your garden variety, like swap farming type of products that you see in the crypto space. We're actually building brand new, innovative products that you've never even seen in the Web 2.0 space, that we're going to also be bringing to the, to crypto. So really exciting stuff we're working on as well, that is going to be first to market, something that, like I said, does not exist in the Web 2.0 space. This is a secret utility that we're working on right now, but it can be used by influencers, brands, businesses, other companies, and we got to think like that, I believe, because if we can appeal our products to the Web 2.0 space, and anyone from, traditional web can come in and use our products for their business, or, as an influencer can use our products, then what happens is they can say, hey, you know what is this token all about? I don't know much about crypto. I can use their products very easily. This is great. I love their products, but what is crypto all about? This is interesting to me. And you kind of have that drip effect where people can kind of slowly adopt, and learn. And I think that if we approach that more, rather than just building products that are strictly just for the Web3 space, but also kind of branching out a little bit where we can kind of pull people in and they can adopt, that also will cause a little bit more of a drip effect where people will start coming in and being more curious about, what we're doing here. And I think that's the biggest thing, right? It's in the investment. We want the investment to come into the space, and we want it to mature.
Absolutely. And it's funny that you brought up influencers, and very interesting that you're talking about more of a standardized vetting process that people can go to and trust, whether they are an investor or whether they are an influencer, or possibly wanting to create their own project. I know Legion and I have had times where there have been influencers that wanted to come on and they just didn't check out right. So, we've had to do the right thing for the community. Even though we don't officially sponsor anyone, but we still have to take the responsibility to protect our communities as much as we possibly can. How are you working that angle with what you're trying to do as far as especially from the influencer aspect of it? I agree with you. It's a part of marketing, right? So I mean that has to be included and involved in some kind of way. What type of things, if you're willing to speak about them, what kind of things are you really looking at when it comes to say an influencer or other projects before you're willing to put your name on it and Reflex's name on it?
Yeah, definitely. So, in my point of view, anytime we work with other people, typically we'll, for example, influencers, if they reach out and say, "Hey, we love your project. We'd like to talk about it." We'll look at their following, obviously, kind of look at their past, videos and what they've done in the past and how they cover, specific projects. And if we feel that it aligns with, really what we're trying to, do here at Reflex, which is more, hey, we want to unify DeFi. We want to help out and bring everyone up together because, in my opinion, we're 10 to 15 years earlier. I believe that this space still has another 10 to 15 years to really mature. So we're all very, very early. And I think that if we do it right, if we really, give ourselves a good name and give ourselves a good reputation in this space, the people with the bigger money that are looking in, that are saying, hey, these guys are professionals. They're mature about how they're, building tech. They're doing it the right way. Yes, it's an emerging tech and it's a disruptive industry, but they're trying to do it the right way. I feel safe, maybe making that shift, whether that shift is using the products or, even putting digital assets into their token or putting digital value into their tokens, so and then from our end, also working with other projects. What's really important to us is, other projects that are doxed. So the developers or the people that are working on the project are doxed. Obviously, experience is important. I come from a sourcing background, so I was a recruiter. I owned my own recruiting company, I should say, and we had accounts with Coinbase. We had accounts with Insightly. We had accounts with Paycom. Some really big accounts with some really great companies. And so I've learned how to really source and really find the right people for the roles. And I feel like the roles that we have filled here at Reflex, when we have a solid team, very, very experienced and very talented people that work with us. So I would, the same goes for a project. If we are looking at different projects or working with different projects, we want to know, where does the experience lie, with them, and what do they want to do? They want to do something good. Have they thought through, their contract and how their contract works? Have they thought through, their roadmap and, with their market cap, is what they're trying to go after possible, or are they overextending themselves? Things of that sort. So that's really important. I mean, it's the whole package, right? Because you might have some projects that say they want to take over the world, but the low market cap, and it's hard to do that when you have to take some baby steps first. And so we all starting off small. Even Reflex right now is a low market cap compared to a lot of other companies, but you all have to put one foot in front of the other, right? And we tend to align with the people that have the big vision, have the big goals, but are also pragmatic in their approach.
Yes, sir. Real quick, I see some new people in here. If I could get everyone to give me a retweet so we can retweet the space so we can get everybody in here. Also, for all my new people, check out the pinned tweets at the top. We actually have two giveaways going right now, one for Reflex tokens and one for Glow tokens. So please check out those pinned tweets at the top. Also, I do want to hear from you guys. So if there's anyone that wants to ask questions, now would be the time to start doing the requests so we can get people's hands up and that sort of thing. So if there's anyone that has questions, please request to come up, and we'll get you guys up here to talk to Ryan. But first, I have a hand up, Mr. Shane. What's going on?
Yeah, I'd just like to reiterate something that Ryan is talking about a lot, and I think there is a shift starting to happen in this space. There's a lot more people with sort of a business background coming into projects now. So like myself, I have e-commerce and sort of business consultancy background, and I'm quite well educated. I have a master's degree and stuff like that as well. So I think this is starting to happen more, and there's more and more people who are coming in with that business acumen behind them, and the space is moving away from sort of your meme coins or your pump and dump projects, and everyone's chasing utility now, and that's why we're redoing the roadmap as well, is to bring more utility to the forefront and to make the project more beneficial to the investors and to really start pushing forward in this space as well. And that's exactly what Reflex are doing as well. And Ryan's no stranger to knowing what people want and knowing how to push forward.
Thank you, Shane, for adding in. I appreciate your comments, sir. I do have a hand up, Mr. A valued member of the Glownation, Mr. Working Man. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. You have a question, my friend?
Well, yeah, I got a couple. How come it's so hard for me to give away money? I don't understand it. Hey, Ryan, I don't know if you remember me at all, but I followed you over from SafeMoon. The only reason I invested in behind you is because you took over the company.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, I like to. We've had a couple of DMs at SafeMoon and a couple over there at Reflex. Hell of a job, man.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I mean, I've been in tech for about 15 years, and I think that. Have you guys ever seen the movie Slumdog Millionaire?
Yep.
I love that movie, and the reason I love that movie is because there was like every point in his life, he had to go through his entire life with all these different experiences, but every experience in his life resulted to that one day that he could be the best version of himself and win the prize. And I think that that's true for a lot of us, right? We all have these experiences in life. Where I was with SafeMoon, I was working for a Fortune 100 company before then. I was had my own recruiting company before then. I had two other acquisitions, two other tech companies that got acquired. So everything kind of resulted to this point in time. And I feel like looking back at the experience, DeFi, along with other leaders in DeFi, I believe that it's people like us and people like the leaders of all of your other favorite token projects are kind of selected in a way to really push this whole movement and this disruptive technology forward. And I feel like this we have a point in time right now where we have a fork in the road. Either this could be amazing and we could really take DeFi and all of these new projects and innovative projects to the next level and do something big, or we squander it and we don't take risks and we don't push forward, and we don't take the responsibility and the burden on ourselves that we need to form communities like you have done with Glow, like we've done with Reflex, like people have done with SafeMoon. Like we have to form communities, stick together, and really push through our innovation and our belief system. And I think that's why we're all here today.
Thank you, Ryan.
Just like I told Legion on my first space when I jumped in, you'll get to know my name. I got some things on the back burner, but between Glow and Reflex are two of the main people. Like I said, you'll get to know my name a little bit better. So it's
awesome. Sounds good, man. Thank you so much for coming up, and thank you for your kind words. I really appreciate it, and it really puts gas in the tank for what we're doing here.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Working Man. All right, all you guys that came up as speakers, please put hands up so I can kind of keep up with who is who. I see two hands, but I know who came up first, so I'm gonna see if he. Yeah, Frizz, you came up first, so I'm gonna go to you next. How are you tonight?
Hey guys, thanks for first of all, thanks for hosting the event tonight, and shout out to Legion and Jason and Glownation as well. I mean, you guys got a great community. I looked at your roadmap, pretty strong project. Really appreciate what you guys are bringing to the space. So, what my question tonight would be is, and this is for Ryan, of course, and that is, Ryan, you've always talked about an MVP, a minimal viable product. So, my question would be is, what should we expect by the end of the month when Reflex Swap goes live? Maybe differentiate between that and what EverSwap has and say Pancake Swap.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously for anyone listening and who probably maybe aren't familiar with MVP, minimum viable product, essentially you always want to launch a basic version of whatever technology product that you're going to be going to market with. Always just a basic version. The reason for this is it helps out with, product placement, target marketing. So if when you launch a product, for example, you want to make sure that it hits with the right audience, that the audience even like the features that you're producing. You want to make sure that your code and you're watching after all of your technical debt, which means that you're not building a bad product. You're building a scalable product, but one that can be approved upon. And then lastly, watching your resources, because you don't want to build this big old product, push it out, ship it, and then find out that nobody even likes half the features that you shipped in your product. So it's always minimum viable product. So what Frizz is asking is for our MVP, our swap, our first version of our swap is going to be we're going to have very, very low gas fees. It's going to be more of it's not going to be the big breakthrough that we've basically found within the last announcement that I made. It'll be still an amazing swap that we're going to have low gas fees on. We're going to be able to bring on swap partners. We're going to be able to ensure that the way that we launch this is in such a way that it can be upgraded. So our swap, as we build onto it and we build our ecosystem of products around it, it's going to be easily upgradable. So this first MVP, we'll start, onboarding all of our partners, getting them situated, making sure that they take advantage of all the other features that are in the swap. And then that next improvement, shortly after the 30 days, we're going to be doing an improvement to that, in which case we're going to allow what we call as a no-sell swap. And that no-sell feature, essentially, our swap will be very much similar to a reverse swap and liquefy. So you're actually, when you swap a token, you're holding the BNB to the side, right? And then those BNB perform the buybacks. However, what we're doing on ours is that BNB that's set to the side, it creates a buffer, and that buffer fills up. So if there's a swap that happens on our swap and say it's a sell, it will pull from that buffer first, and it'll carry out that swap, which means that if it's a bigger sell, it won't hit the charts. So it doesn't look bad. It allows the coin or the token to stabilize. So it's actually better for the project. It's better for the charts. And it allows these peer-to-peer sells to happen, which is really exciting. And then we're going to take that one step, farther as far as the gas fees go, and I believe we'll be able to get it down to about at least 25 cents, if not more. And we have identified, like I've said, with the help of Fiber spearheading this with us, we've identified a pathway to zero gas fees, so gasless. Now that could take months, that could take 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, we don't know, but we have identified a pathway for that, which is really exciting. But again, MVP first, baby steps, and then you improve upon that.
That's great, Ryan. I appreciate the answer there. Yeah. I do have a couple of other
hosting the space. Thank you for all the familiar faces. In here, and then Ryan, of course, thank you. I don't know that I've ever had the way you handled it legitimizes both projects. I was disappointed to see it go, but at the same bring that into relevancy, because I think if we get down to the nuts and bolts, one thing that just drives me absolutely crazy is just everything. Recently, I in our monies, and frankly, without getting too sour on it, politics have just gotten so out of control with a two-party system that I feel like crypto, and I think maybe this is where I'm looking for your reflection and comment on it in generality. Is I feel like crypto is a way that hardworking people that just feel like we have no say, no control. We're just a cog in the wheel. My hope is anyway is that these good projects out there. I hope we weed out the bad projects. Glow, I hope all these good projects surface and can give us normal voting individuals a little bit of power and try to navigate this insertion of crypto into the world that we live in without having government shutting it down because they're threatened by it. And I'm just so happy to see that we're somewhat embracing at least the idea to a certain extent of whether it be either regulation or oversight or just transparency, that it's not necessarily a threat to the government and the governance that we have, but simply a means of saying like enough is enough. So I'll leave it there. I hope with that little rant you can kind of see where I'm at. But again, thank you for the way you've handled yourself, Ryan. I mean, you're nothing but very tactful, and you're a pleasure to listen to. And you are by no means, I feel the same with John Caroni and many other people in this community. You're not a rug pull. I think that regardless of the success of the good people in this industry, there are a lot of you that are good people trying to make a difference, and I thank all of you and happy to be along for the ride. So I'll leave it there. Again, thank you all for having me up, and have a great night.
That was awesome. Everything you said there was awesome. I'm glad I was able to listen to that, Honey Badger, and it's what you said really does hit home for me. I'll give you an example. I'm in Miami right now, and as I'm driving down, you can see now new ads coming out for Apple saying, the huge ad almost takes up, I would say, several stories of a building, and it says, It said something to the effect of because we care about your. It said something to the effect of because we care about your. Appease the government and appease the process. And right now, example for Reflex, what we're doing is we're building out and helping build out a framework and a pathway, so that whenever the SEC, crypto companies should be managed internally and how they should be basically in compliance, we are going to be ready for that. We've already started that process. But then on the other side, you also have people, holders, people who use the products, users who are like, but I also like the DeFi flavor of being able to use products where I'm not completely tracked and surveilled 24/7. So you have to find that fine balance, and people start to realize that when they have privacy to launch projects completely anonymous, they just won't get a badge from us. So we won't put our name behind it and say, yes, they were on a bronze, silver, or gold package. So there's a difference, right? So if you see that, then you know that we did our best to mitigate that risk. And we're still going to leave that there, because we still believe in, obviously, anonymity. But it is a fine balance, and it's that age-old question: how do you give as much privacy as you possibly can, but then do it in a way that you're also curtailing those who are trying to take advantage of it.
Thank you for that answer, Ryan. I appreciate you so much. Real quick, I see Glownation. I'm coming to you here in just a second. Your hand is probably about to fall off right now. Come up as a speaker because you're my winner for the 25 billion Reflex. We just want to say hi before we give that away. So please come up as a speaker so we can talk to you for a second because you're my first winner tonight. You're going to walk away with some Reflex. Mr. Glownation, I'm so sorry. I see your hand has been up forever. What's going on, my friend?
Hey, thanks for having me up, guys. Brian, killed that last response. You seem like you got your hand in a little bit of everything, so I'm sure you've experienced failures along the way. And I'm not just saying in crypto or any current ventures that you're having, but would you care to elaborate on a failure that might have turned into a success, or something that you learned from, or what you did to overcome that? Because that's a huge thing in this space, is so many people just don't succeed right away.
might have been maybe like early. And $30,000. It was me and one other developer, and I'm a designer, but I know how to design all my own products and everything. And so, we went to town for a year building out an inventory management system. And, I was just going really fast. Like, we were building out this great system. Everything looked like it was going to, turn out perfectly. I was talking to a company in San Diego that was wanting to license it and was wanting to get on board. I gave them a demo. They loved it. After that news broke with the other developer, all of a sudden, I guess something shifted where it was, hey, you're putting $30,000 a year's worth of work. And the only reason I had the 30,000 was because I sold my very first home that I bought when I was 21, and I rented out all the rooms just so I could have the home and make the payments. And I bought it right after the 2008 crash, so I bought it at a good time. But I took pretty much not all of the money, but a lot of that money, and I put it towards this investment. And then you can only imagine, I was doing this full time. I was working on it full time. And that was very scary. And so I had to kind of go back, get a job, and, but the passion of building something never left me. And it was like, well, if I can handle that, and people were like, that's horrible. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you went through that. You lost a year of your life. There was still some and you got to realize that these things happen. It's normal. You're not the only one going through it. Other projects are going through it, and you just got to kind of maneuver yourself through it, and just got to kind of maneuver yourself through it, and get do what you can to ensure that you're pushing a product, or you're pushing ten years, 5 years, 15 years, and then it just becomes, people think, oh, just easy, but it's really just you getting through all of those obstacles, and eventually something gives. I don't know what it is. It's the universe. It's the just the strong mindset. I don't know what it is, but something gives.
some personal information with us like that. I had several questions. COO Shane, you had your hand up, sir. Did you want to jump in for a moment?
Yeah, I just want to talk with Ryan a bit on that as well, because I think anyone who's, I think it was my 6th business before I actually earned a cent from it. I had so many failed attempts, but that's how you learn. And Ryan, you were trying to say, like, if the universe gives but yeah, I'm the same. I lost a lot of money running my own businesses, and it was a yeah, we have a similar sort of story. With those sort of things as well, so it's nice to hear that.
Their opinions. If you can get through that, less of an impact, and then all of a sudden all of the pride and ego I had, and now it's just a matter of figuring this dang thing out. What I use for marketing, this is the person I know who does this. All of a sudden, you're going from 0 to 100 much quicker, and it's just repetition. And so, it's at the end of the day, I feel like that's true for a lot of different things, not just starting a company, obviously, but that's true for even relationships and friendships. It is much harder to get going in this space than it is your traditional Web 2.0 space. Well, you gave it your best, kiddo, and we have, so that we can help these entrepreneurs and
excuse me if I go in wrong order. Please don't be mad at me because we usually. Glownation, usually my crowd is very shy, and
That's a cool utility, man.
It's huge, and there's a lot you can do with that too. So it can also, there's different things that we can do with that, but I'm not going to get into too much of the technicals.
A very strong friend and partner to Glow. Lots of really cool things, I should say, going on.
Someone said, I think that when I was at SafeMoon, someone had mentioned, we did this being able to innovate as fast. We're not building as quickly. We're not building quality products. We're not caring about the users of the whole. Like the thing is I'm after a while, all of a sudden they just kind of give up and they kind of wither away. And it's like, that's normal. You're going to have that. And, you're going to have, even like the other guy that just came on right now, you're going to have people say, oh, I had the same idea. Well, great. But did you execute? You got to be able to execute. You got to be able to ensure that whenever you build a tech, I mean, I have people coming to me saying, hey, I have a great idea for this, and I had that idea 2 months ago. I'm like, awesome, that's so cool. So where's your product? Well, I haven't been able to get the product up because, well, that's what it's all about. People like ideas, they love results, and that is what it's all about.
You're almost going to have to start doing like movie producers do when someone says, hey, I have an idea for a script, so don't tell me, I don't want to know it. Because as soon as you tell me it, and then if someone makes it, you're going to say that I took it. So some movie producer and be like, I have an idea. It's like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know it. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
I even told my team, and how NFTs can change the the gift and they can make something of it, then maybe maybe that idea and produce. And so that's like, I think especially in DeFi, every from a library, it's already been built by someone else, maybe a year, 2 years ago, and it's just been maintained. And he's going to take that little library and he's going to use that plug or use that. So I think that I was always very like, oh, I have this idea. And I remember when I first started, I would try to talk to I haven't built yet. But I know it'll work and I know it'll make $1 million. Well, okay, that's awesome. That sounds great. You sound passionate. But what do you have done? I want to see, what you actually have done so I can see that you're very serious about this. And at that time, I kind of took offense to it. I was like, well, doesn't he believe in me? Doesn't he believe me? It's a great idea. Doesn't he believe this could be $1 million idea? And what the difference is it's not the $1 million idea. It's the team, it's the drivers. It's the team behind Glow Token, right? The team that built the contract, that put everything on the line, that brought the community together, that wanted to make it come to life, that did the website, that did the marketing, that all worked together to build something great. And that's what matters. That's when you show you care. And I always tell people, when someone cares about you, there's effort. Effort equals care. So if you really care, you put in effort. And so that's always been my mantra. That's always been my personal belief system is, we can go out there, do good, and care. In other words, put in effort.
Put in the work. Yes, sir. I agree 100%. Real quick, I have some new people in here. So if everyone could retweet the space, please, I'd really appreciate it. Also, I do have another giveaway for Glow tokens. I have that pinned to the top. So if everyone could go check that out, I'll be doing that here in a little bit. Frizz, I see you. I'm coming. I also want to give a shout out to Jeremiah. I'm so happy that you're here. I would love if you came up and said hello, Mr. Jeremiah. My favorite space host, Mr. Jeremiah, is in here, but he hasn't said hello yet. But that's okay. My heart isn't broken or anything that you're not talking to us, Jeremiah. Maybe he's busy, but that's okay. Love you, Jeremiah. Oh, heart. Yay, I got heart from Jeremiah. That makes me happy. Mr. Frizz, you have been so patient. Please tell us what's on your mind.
Hey, thanks, Legion. I appreciate that again. So I just want to say, just sitting here listening to the wisdom oozing from both Shane and Ryan regarding their business experiences with regards to successes and failures. I feel like I'm sitting in a business mentoring class, and I hope that anybody in the audience is actually sitting, listening, and taking notes, because you're not going to get this in a university, guys. It's not going to happen. You actually have to talk to people that have rolled up their sleeves and hit the pavement and done the work, blood, sweat, and tears. And this is where you're going to get this information from. So just a shout out to both Shane and Ryan for sharing that with us tonight. So my question going forward is to Ryan regarding our swap again, getting back to Reflex swap. So what I want to bring up is slippage. And, of course, Pancake Swap, it's a manual slippage. EverSwap is auto. With regards to our swap, we've talked about the pool, or it's also been discussed as possibly like book order 2.0, so to speak. So a scenario was brought up the other day regarding, let's just say I want to buy 500 billion tokens, but there's only 400 billion tokens sitting in the pool. The extra 100 billion tokens would be pulled from, say, Pancake Swap back to fill my order. So let's just discuss slippage. What functionality, if any, will be attached to, say, the Reflex swap?
So there's going to be a few things we're going through. I wish my dev was here. Then he can explain a little bit better than I can. But basically, we have a few things. This first will have anti-arbitrage, so we'll be able to ensure that there's a medium for the different liquidity pools. We have an anti-arbitrage mechanism that fires. And then for the slippage, what we are going to end up doing, and I did this for SafeMoon actually, we're going to end up adding, so as tokens get added, the tokens will be able to set their own slippage, and it'll be automatic. So whenever they come to the swap, they'll be saying, hey, you know what? My token is, say, for example, my token is enhance, and we have I don't even know, I'm going to say Reflex because I don't want to kill that. My token's Reflex, we have a 15% tax. Okay, so we'll be able to get that from the partner as they come on. They'll be able to set that 15% tax, and anytime a holder comes in, that will automatically set for them, and the slippage will be set. So we're working out different ways and how that will be handled if there is an overage. Obviously, it pulls from PCS, but we want to do it in a way that also mines the different features that we have within the swap. And by those features, I mean the rewards that we give back to the different tokens that are partnered with us. So there's a whole nother rewards mechanism where the native tokens will collect for our partners as well. So we're looking at like all the different things and the different technical, I should say, blockers and obstacles to ensure that this whole process, is smooth, and we're mitigating any type of risks for, for the swap not running as smoothly as we want. So there's like a lot of I would say, Fritz, there's a lot of things, like a lot of complex stuff that we're working on right now, that we have to ensure that whenever we deploy this, we deploy it with the least amount of risk, but with an MVP mindset, meaning we have the basic swap working, everything's good. If we need to do on the fly ad hoc updates, we can. But as far as slippage goes, that's kind of how we're handling it right now. But obviously that's going to be up for improvements too. So there's going to be other things that we're going to be doing with the contract that we can do ad hoc, because it's going to be updatable, which is really exciting. And many swaps aren't, by the way, are updatable like that. Ours is going to be.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. I really appreciate the information on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so we have a question from someone who's listening, but it's 3 a.m. in the morning where they are, and I'm sure they don't want to wake the wife and the kids up. So the question was, before Reflex went into version 2, they had an in-wallet staking option. Is that something that will be coming back?
Yes, we are. it is on our roadmap. We're working on that. So we have a few things that we want to get knocked out. The V2 we just did. We upgraded our V2 contract. We saved a ton in gas by doing that. So, which is going to impact all the holders, which is going to be amazing. So that means just a tad bit more reflections, basically, in reflection value that we'll be able to save on the gas for the distribution. We upgraded our distributor, so that's what helps with the gas. Then now we're doing the swap. The swap we've been in development for quite a while, but now we're getting closer to launch this within the next 30 days. Right after that, we're going to be doing our farming. And then after that, we will be doing the staking. But we don't want to do the staking too quickly because people are already staking right now with Brew Labs. We have a partnership with them. So people are able to stake currently. But later on, once those durations end, because they will end, they'll be in time for our staking. And we want to do the same staking that we had before, where the tokens don't leave your wallet. They stay in your wallet. And you still get to have compounding and harvesting. And then we'll have different durations as well. So 2 to 3 pools. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that answers the community members' question.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you, Ryan. Ryan, look who actually came up to join us. Mr. Jeremiah, how are you tonight?
Hey, I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. I was just down there listening, and I was just taking in all the information. Ryan is always, he has a lot of information, especially being a business owner too as well. Just learning from the best. I thought it was very informative. So I wanted to come in here, Legion, and come in and support your space. And it's always a pleasure to see what you're doing here. And what else? What I love is that you have these tokens on and these companies on the Sacred Swap, and you have them, just pretty much like interacting with one another and becoming family, helping one another, helping DeFi as a family. And I just think it's such an awesome thing. So often, so many different tokens are in competition with one another. And here it's not about that. It's all about, like he mentioned, sharing information and connecting with one another and building in partnerships. Because at the end of the day, we get on this mothership, we reach the moon together. And I'm invested in both Reflex and Glow and a few others, Growth Token and obviously SafeMoon. But I just love the whole vibe what you guys are creating. So it's just so cool, man.
Thank you, Jeremiah. If my show can be 10% as cool as Water Cooler is, then I feel like I'm doing pretty good. So thank you, Jeremiah. I just had to speak to you because every time I come to your space, I have to bring the hype and say hello. So I saw you, so I'm like, Jeremiah's got to say hi to me. So sorry to make you come up, but I just wanted to say hi, Jeremiah.
Can I have a redo? I need to do the same thing. I feel like I need to do the same thing.
Jeremiah, good to hear from you again, buddy.
Good to hear from you too, man. I don't want to take up anyone's time because I was like, we just spoke yesterday, man. But
no, you ain't taking up anyone's time. You're up here asking questions just like everyone else, man. Love to have you.
I appreciate it. Well, then I'll stick around for a little bit. And Legion, how you doing, my friend? You doing good?
Now, there you go. That's how you get Jeremiah.
I appreciate you, man.
And Jeremiah, you have VIP status in Glownation space, so anytime you want to come up, you come straight to the top, sir.
Oh wow, man. Well, listen, I appreciate your the CEO and the vice president and president. I love them all. I love you, man. So thank you. I appreciate that, bro. Nobody's special. I appreciate
you. Thank you for coming up, Jeremiah. I couldn't not have him come up, right, Ryan? I mean, I couldn't not do it.
No, if you weren't going to say anything, I was going to say something because I saw him peeking over there.
I was speaking a little bit. But Ryan, why I'm up here? Like, okay, so at what, it's a corny question, I guess, but at what age did you realize that I need to start my own business? I'm an entrepreneur. Did you have a job? What was your first job? That's what I
So
want.
okay, you want to know? Okay, so if we go back in time, when I was in fourth grade, fifth grade. So fourth grade. Okay, there's a few things here. One, I would go with my mom, and she would take me to Costco. And when I was at Costco, I would ask her if I could buy the big packs of Airheads. When I was young, at that age, Airheads are really big. You remember the Airhead? I don't even know if they sell them anymore. They might, but maybe in
They
specialized
still do.
stores. But they had the Airheads candies, and they're like huge when I was a kid. So I'd buy the big pack, and then what I would do is I'd bring them to school, and I'd sell them at school. And so they would call me the Candy Man. So they'd be like, Ryan, the Candy Man. And like right after lunch, people would, get ready. I'd pull out the candy, I'd pull out the Airheads out of my bag. And then all of a sudden, like everyone in class would, just start buying, the Airheads off of me. And then I was like, oh, awesome. Now I have extra money that I could use like for the next day, when I wanted to get snacks or whatever. I'd have extra money. And so the teachers got really upset with it. And then they ended up telling me like, hey, you can't do this anymore. And they actually took my money. Like and they were like, we're going to leave this after class, and then you can get it after class, but you can't sell it anymore. And that was when I was like, and I was always kind of like, I don't know, I'm not going to say I was ornery, but I was always kind of like, really, you're going to take my money? Like, and then they're like, well, we're going to give it to you after class, but you can't do it anymore. And so that was my first taste of like, I like this. This is cool. I'm kind of, I made it. I did something on my own. I kind of finagled the system in a way, and I was able to make people happy. I was able to make a little extra money for myself, and I was able to, supply like a service, a good. And ever since then, I've always been kind of like, this is cool. I like seeing smiles on people's faces. I like doing stuff and learning and figuring out stuff. And so that was my very first thing. And then that spurred, like, that bloomed like all of my other ventures after that.
That is awesome, bro. I knew it. I was like, I want Costco's. I was like, yeah, he bought candy. Right? I knew
Yeah.
that.
The Candy
Awesome.
Man.
Candy man. Oh, I love it, man. My other question is, and again, I guess is somewhat personal, but are there, what, if you could say anything about your hobbies, like things that you actually would buy. Some people are into cars, boats, and things of sort like that, but like, what? And it might be a stupid question. I feel like you're gonna say tech, but if you had like a guilty pleasure, a hobby, something that you probably, spend a little money on, and what people don't know about you, what would that be?
Good question, man. Travel. I would say travel. I'm not the kind of person who likes to like buy a lot of stuff. Like I'm not the kind of person who like likes to buy like a lot of clothes. Like I never buy clothes for myself. I love food, and I like to just travel and see new places. I had a house before that I had sold about, little bit over a year ago. And even when I was in that home, I was just kind of bored. Like I was able to work remote, but I was kind of bored, and I just like to see new cultures. I like to, see new faces, learn new things. I can speak Thai a little bit. I stayed in Thailand for 2 years, so I can speak Thai enough to. I'm not fluent, but enough to get around. I was there on an education visa, so I actually, I had classes twice a week for 2 years, and so I can speak enough Thai to order food and get me places, and have small conversations. And I think it's fascinating that we live on this huge planet, and many of us will maybe spend a few, I would say maybe a few weeks, a year if they're lucky, maybe traveling to a place. And typically a lot of people would just travel to like a resort. When I travel, I try to travel like, and I'll go like into the cities and into the places where you don't have the resorts. I'll try to get an Airbnb in a place where people are like, where are you? And I just try to like learn as much as I can about the people and about the way of life. And I love that. Like it just expands my mind, and you see so many different things from different perspectives. And the one thing I've learned, from traveling, Jeremiah, is, you know, you have this American mindset, or this mindset of consumerism, where having things is really, really, really important to you. But when you go to Thailand, say for example, you realize, like, it's not necessarily about the things. It's just about either the community, the people, or when I was there, it was how could you build really cool stuff and make an impact on the world? If you can have all the things you ever wanted, what would you do if you had it, all the cars and all the houses that you wanted? What would then make you happy? And to me, I feel like that would be challenge. Like, how could you change a space? How could you leave a legacy behind? And I think that's truly at the core. That's what really challenges people. It's not necessarily the things, it's the process and it's the journey. Because then once you get it, it's like, okay, well, now you got the carrot, it's no longer dangles. So there has to be something bigger. And that for me is just travel, meeting new people, meeting new cultures, growing my mind. And then obviously while I'm doing that, trying to make an impact.
Awesome. I think you definitely have accomplished that goal, and I'm sure you're going to be accomplishing more of an impact. I have to agree with you. I have friends that have done very well and became very wealthy and rich and everything. And they reached the top of this mountain, and I swear, like sometimes I get phone calls like, "Dude, I'm bored. Like, I'm really bored.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to do. I partied. I bought what I want, and I'm sitting in this house by myself, not
Yeah.
enjoying anything, and I don't know what else to do." And I always say that it's so important to have an impact on the world, because at the end of the day, it's like you should be living the life of purpose, right? Purpose before
Yep.
paper, and it's so important. So I definitely understand where you're coming from
Yeah.
on that. Yeah.
Yeah, you nailed it, man. I mean, it's purpose and it's progress, right? I think everyone looks for happiness, and a lot of people think that maybe happiness might be just be in things, but it's really in progress. You're happier than you were yesterday if you've made progress. You're happy if you go to the gym and you feel good, you look better, you're happy. You're happy if you've moved up in life, slowly and over time, and you feel happy when your investment in crypto is going well, right? And it's because it's growing, right? Or you're unhappy because you feel like you're not making progress and you see that chart go down, right? It's all progress. And I think that making an impact and making that progress is what should be at the front and center of what you want to do. Because I've seen people go into business and start token projects purely because they feel like they just want to make a mint. And it's like, that's not what this is about, and that's definitely not what it's about for us at Reflex. And I said this before, I'm not even taking a salary at Reflex. I don't take a salary. I'm working and I'm putting in my sweat equity into this company because I want to make an impact and I want to build something big. And in the beginning of a project, you got to be able to do that. So I'm living off of savings, building up this company, helping it grow. And that money that we do have in our operations wallet, that goes to our dev team. It goes to people who are there developing the product, while I'm basically there to facilitate, consult, and obviously run and design and do everything that I possibly can to make sure that this is growing the right way. And that's, in a sense, you have to do that as a business owner. You have to be able to step in and let your team eat first. And so over time, if you're following your purpose, if you're following that, then you can feel good about yourself because you know that you let your team eat first before you did. And if we do everything right and we work our tails off, I should be able to finally eat. And that's just the way I see it.
Love it, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That speaks volumes.
Absolutely, brother.
I see we have my man Ace from Enhance up here now as well.
It's like
Yeah,
messages
I
or
already
whatever.
know,
I
man.
never
Trust me.
check them. I
Hey,
always
bro.
feel so bad because people will put me on the spot and be like, man, I sent you a DM. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even.
Is most people will overlook because they don't understand how important that is and how serious that is to have a leader that says, I want my squad to eat first, man. So salute to you, bro.
Thank you, brother. I absolutely believe it. You know,
Yeah.
this is the way I look at it, right? You only have
Yeah.
a certain amount of money in your operations wallet to last you and build products and build something great, you know, for your holders.
Yeah.
So does that go to you, or does that go to the people who are, you know, that are really core, that
Yeah.
are the ones who are going to build it?
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. You're exactly right, bro. And that's the way that things, that's the way that real leaders lead from the front. You know what I'm saying? You should be seeing the back of my big ass head all the time when we out here going places and doing things, man, because I do the same thing, man. I want to make sure I'm going to eat regardless. I'll do whatever it takes outside of this to make sure that I eat regardless. So I'm going to be good. I want to make sure that everybody on my squad can eat so we can continue to carry out the mission at hand.
Exactly. And if you're doing things right, guess what? You'll be able to eat a nice big buffet whenever your work is done.
Hell yeah, baby.
So much wisdom up here tonight. I love it. And Ace, you killing me with them hundreds. How do you still have hundreds?
I bought a whole nother damn phone just so I wouldn't have to update my Twitter app on this phone. This thing is strictly for the hundos, baby.
It took me a second. I'm like, wait, Ace has hundreds? I'm throwing hearts, you throwing hundreds, and I'm so mad at you right now. I want
hundo
hundreds.
after hundo. We keep it 100 up here, man. I keep it 100. I keep it so 100 that I can't even update my goddamn app, man.
I bet you could sell that phone on eBay. Just put Twitter hundreds and you can sell it.
Oh, that's a good idea. Hey, man, look. Speaking of that, my boys need to eat, man. We may have to do that. Listen, y'all. Listen, man. Anybody that want to DM me, man, I got an iPhone 12 Pro Max that is the Twitter app has not been updated. So if you want to get your hundos back, hit me in my DMs. I got you.
Throw an enhanced case on there and send them a case of enhanced energy drinks with it. Man,
that's right. You know what? We might, if somebody from Glow buys it, we might mess around and send them a Glow energy drink, man. Let me keep my mouth shut. Let me keep.
I don't know what you're talking about. Let's go to a hand. Let's go to a hand before we say too much. Frizz, you still up here, man? What's going on?
Hey, I hate to be that guy in the room to actually bring everything back to asking Ryan questions, but I'm going to be that man tonight. Sorry about that.
All
but
good.
So basically, listening in on a number of different AMAs over the last couple of days, Ryan had mentioned something about, the closed loop system. And also, information back from the devs that they were able to do something new in the space that had not ever been done before. So with that, looking at the updated roadmap for Reflex for 2022, I know that Ryan also stated that after having received the information from the devs that new technology could be, green lighted, I guess, going forward for other utilities. So my question would be is, Ryan, what do you see Reflex doing in 2023 over and above the 5 utilities that are going to be launched this year in 2022?
Awesome question. So basically, 2022 will be focused on building the foundational products, right? Farming, staking, swap, obviously having a tip of the spear type of swap technology that we're going to be launching all of our products on top of. 2023 will be focused on building upon products that are using that swap technology so that we can compete in Web 2. And what I mean by that is making sure that the products that we're building not only fit within our ecosystem of helping new token projects, but also fit within our ecosystem of making DeFi a safer space and bringing in more people, more users from traditional Web 2.0. And by that I mean creating products that kind of cross, that can work cross-functionally between both kind of industries. So our new products are obviously going to be much bigger in scope, because now that we have this technology, we're going to be able to really upgrade our thinking. And I didn't want to come to the table and say, hey, you know what, we're going to be able to, launch this big product, but then also still not have our swap technology, with lower gas fees, taking advantage of low gas fees done yet. Now that it is, now I'm very confident in the new products that we're going to be launching in 2023. And those are going to be the ones that are going to be more revolutionary in style rather than farming, staking, swap, things of that sort. But still in 2022, you guys are also going to be getting my secret utility, which has never been done before. You're also going to be getting something from Cryptfu, who basically he's built, well, he's our CFO, but he's helped us build something that would allow people to check the financial health of tokens right off the bat, which is huge, because a lot of these tokens that are out there right now, they won't be able to see like the financial health, like, where's their operations wallet? If they do have an operations wallet, how much is in there? What is it being used for? What's the kind of the high level view? And we're building something out, and we're going to be, within the next 2 weeks, we're going to be launching that as well. It's already been built, so it's really exciting what we have. And then 23, like I said, is going to be focused on the bigger stuff, and we'll drip some of that out later on. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, and I'm not big on saying the big things we're going to be doing until we actually have development done on them, or we have all the other stuff we should be focusing on off our plate. And I believe that right now, the swap technology and everything we should be focusing on right now, but we have big plans.
That's awesome. Well, you know what? I'm not going to jump up here and ask any more serious questions tonight. Just a shout out to Legion and Jason and Shane. Thanks for hosting the event tonight. Really appreciate the space. You guys at Glownation, you guys rock. Again, thank you for hosting this space tonight.
Thanks a lot, Frizz. I appreciate the question. I will say I'm going to have to hop off here, but I want to give a big thank you to Glownation. I mean, you guys are awesome. Your audience is great. I love what you guys are all about. You guys are, really trying to make an impact in this space for the good. Obviously, through your roadmap. I can tell just from the people who have come up, you guys are just, there's a brotherhood here. There's a community here. And you guys are all, we're all kind of pioneers in our own right, So it's really refreshing to see. It's really awesome to see. I love the questions that everybody came up, Shane, your experience in business, and man, I mean, that's so refreshing to see. And it's really cool to see that more people like this are coming into the space, because that's what's going to help us mature. So keep up the awesome work, guys.
Just before you jump off, Ryan, we might do the last giveaway. I think there's 30 billion of Glow still to give away.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I've been doing that in the background. I did the Twitter picker, and Neil, actually, Enhanced Neil, you actually are the winner of that 30 billion Glow. So if you would
go.
Message Jason. Yep, I give away a lot of stuff to Enhance people, Ace. I really do, and because Enhance really does support Glow, so I appreciate it so much. So yeah, Neil, Neil, you're the winner. And Ryan, thank you so much for all your time. I really appreciate it. Please give me, Jason, Shane a follow. Whenever you see our spaces, you're always welcome to come in anytime. So open invitation. I'll even give you like VIP status +1, like Jeremiah. Okay.
Thank you. I won't tell him. Oh, he's still on here.
It's okay. He'll understand. It's okay.
No, you guys are hot. You guys are awesome. You guys are fire. Keep it up. Thank you so much again, man. You guys are really cool, killing it. And I'm sure I'll be in here again.
Make sure you answer Chase's DM or it'll be after you.
Yeah, get with me, Hound. Get with me, FudHound.
I will. I'll be there, brother.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it.
Hey, and I tell people all this. This is my closing statement. I always tell people, thank you. I always give a proper thank you. I always let everybody know, how awesome their questions were. And then I say at the very end, stay hard. I'm out. See you guys later.
Thanks, Ryan. All right. And oh, hey, Zeus. I see Zeus is in here. For those of you still here, I do need to give you a quick insight to what Glow is, actually, because there's a Glow space. Glow is a deflationary token with 10% BUSD rewards, 15% buy sales tax. But of that 15%, it goes to good places. 10% of it goes back to you in BUSD rewards. A little piece of it goes toward lottery. If you hold at least $20 worth of Glow, you have a chance to win at least $100 worth of Glow every day. It's a daily lottery, randomly picked. Then if you hold at least $50, then you get a chance to win $10,000 worth of BUSD for simply holding $50 worth of Glow. And there's no transfer tax of Glow to transfer between two wallets. So if you have over $100, you might want to put it in more than one wallet because it gives you more than one chance. Now, here's the part that is the big deal to me. Part of that tax goes to a charity wallet. Every month, the community puts forward charities they want it to go through. Then the community votes on those charities. The team vets those charities to make sure that they're legitimate and the money is going to the charity, not the CEO's salary or something like that. Once we make sure it's a legit good charity and the community has voted, we do a charity giveaway every month. So far, we're up to about $31,000. That's the Glow and Glow is glowing up DeFi, being the security, the being up front, being a Docs team. That's what Glow stands for, and being Glow in the world, shedding a little light in the darkest places of the world. So, and we've got to do that every month since we've started. Mostly children with cancer, children affected by war. We got to help out a orphanage that actually bought solar panels and batteries. So we literally put light on an orphanage. So very, very cool. So if you haven't yet, please check out Glow V2. We are trying to do a little bit of good in the world. We have a updated roadmap, June 13th. Be on Glownation. So if you'd like to learn more about Glow, please come back on the 13th. We'll have the team telling everyone what we're doing. We're kind of changing our roadmap a little bit. I mean, we'll still have 10% BUSD. We'll still have the charity, the lottery. Just some of our plans going forward have changed a little bit. We have some cool stuff coming up. We have some partnerships coming up as well. And that's going to be Monday. So please come and check that out. Okay. Well, I guess I can actually end. Ryan had to go, so I will go around and ask everyone their closing thoughts. I'll start with you, Mr. Shane, because I know it's really late and you're probably about ready to close your eyes and get like 10 minutes of sleep before you get us another partnership. So, Mr. Shane.
Yeah, I did well today. It's 10 to 2, and I didn't fall asleep on a space today. Normally I wake up in my office asleep on the desk.
Well, thank you for staying up with us, Shane. We really appreciate it.
I just want to tell everyone big thanks for taking the time out to join our space today, and we hope to see you all on the 13th of June for our new roadmap. So, as Legion has said, the fundamentals behind the project will not change at all, and we'll still have everything at our core. There'll be no change in tokenomics or anything like that. It's just there's going to be some new aspects to the business. So, as we said before, we are Glow Token LLC, and the token is only one part of us.
And the parts on the roadmap is just a small part of the overall plan. I can't tell you too much, but I'll tell you there's so much more going on in the background. A lot of it thanks to Shane. There's a lot of cool stuff going on, but you'll get little hints of it on the 13th.
Exactly. And as Ryan was talking about, and before, the roadmap is going to be intentionally vague because we want to be first to market with a few items. And unfortunately, to protect yourself in crypto, you need to be intentionally vague. And when you have some pretty cool things you're working on that haven't been done before, and you want to make it happen.
And we're not going to tell you anything's coming out or a date for anything until it's already up and running and operational. And then we'll say, cool, it's coming out this date, because we want to make sure to hit all those marks. So we're doing the roadmap the way it is on purpose, for sure. Okay, next, Jason. Man, you booked a banger of a space. Good job, man. This today was amazing, and it was all thanks to you.
Well, thank you. And it's fun, and really appreciate all of the other guests, if you will. Ace, Jeremiah, Neil, Zeus, all of you very influential people that took a few moments to join us and be with us and share your thoughts and experiences. And, of course, the entire Glow core team who's here. And, Shane, obviously, for all the magic that you work in the background. And so, yeah, just stay tuned. On Monday, we are going to do the updated roadmap thing here on Glownation. And a lot of really fun and exciting things coming with Glow, with Glownation, and some other things that Shane will probably be telling you about on Monday. So really appreciate all you guys. Everybody in this space is super busy. So, for those of you that tuned in and, just shared your thoughts, your ideas, your comments with us, we appreciate you. And now you're obligated, and I expect to see you back.
Yes, sir. I agree. Oh, I need to go over a couple of the pin tweets too. This space is being broadcast on the Greek DeFi Gurus YouTube channel. So if you want to go back and listen to it there, you can. Also, we have it streaming on the Glow official page. We're trying to build up that YouTube channel as well. So I have that pinned to the top. So if you have not subscribed to the Glow official YouTube channel, please do that. I have it pinned to the top. Jeremiah, thank you so much for coming up. I really appreciate you. And all my questions, everyone, thank you so much. I don't think I can close this out as well as someone up as a speaker. Ace, can I put you on the spot to close this out, sir?
Why wouldn't
I? I knew you'd say that. Yes, sir.
Listen, man, you put me on the spot, and that's okay, man. I can be put on the spot because when you're speaking from the heart, guess what? You ain't got to be prepared. If you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. All of us stay ready in here. All of us are about one thing, man, and that's uniting this entire DeFi space, man. So I want to just give a big shout out for everybody that hops in all these spaces, that bounces around, that has their own spaces, that are taking these spaces and going on other platforms and being able to broadcast this type of unity, this type of community, this type of spreading love and not FUD, man. I'm just happy to be here with you guys. Hey, it's all love over here from Enhance. It's all love over here from myself. Glownation, we got a lot of stuff to build, man, as well as anybody else that's in this DeFi space that's trying to be about unity. So I'm gonna bounce off here as well. But listen, man, I love you all. Appreciate you guys having me up. Appreciate everybody tuning into Glownation, man. Keep tuning into them. Keep tuning into Reflex as well. All of us are building great things, and we're doing it for the betterment of the people. So let's fucking go.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Ace. And we need
Was
to
that
have
all right? Did I do okay? Was that okay?
you did. Yeah, you did amazing. And we need to have you back on Glow Nation as a guest sometime, Ace. We've had some enhanced folks, but we haven't had the man with
Great
the flame on yet.
opportunity. Great opportunity for me to slide something else in right here. That's a great thing. So if you do want me on a podcast, if you do want me on a space, on an interview, I got a man right here that just won 30 freaking billion glow, and his name is Enhanced Neil. He's up here. He's got this badass ape with a football jersey on. You get with that man right there, and he will make sure that I can tune in to whatever you guys would like to see me on.
We got you, Ace. We know Neil. We love Neil. We can have you up. Oh, I got to sneeze. There you go. I did on mute. Okay, awesome. All right. I can't do better than Ace, so I'm gonna close it out on him. But I will tell you my final thing, like I always do. Well, some of you might not have heard this, but go out and do something nice for somebody else. Okay, if it's tonight or tomorrow, whether it just be smiling at somebody, doing a little bit of charity, hold the door for somebody. There's too much darkness in this world. Just do a little something nice for somebody. Okay, today, tomorrow, this weekend, just do something nice. Just remember, in that smile don't cost you nothing. To say, hey, have a good day, don't cost you nothing. Just do something nice for somebody. Okay, sometime this weekend, shed that glow around the world. We all do a little bit. It's gonna mean a whole lot. So, y'all be nice. Be nice to each other. Love each other, unite together, and y'all come back and see us on the 13th for some cool glow news. Y'all have